To go from a promising basketball career to a cold-blooded killer, this shocked everyone. The once friendly basketball player, Chance Comanche, turned HDMI killer. And now, beyond the fact that he's 6'10 and a pretty talented basketball player, by all accounts, this guy seemed normal. He's from Los Angeles. He went to Beverly Hills High School before attending Arizona to play basketball. He's a professional basketball player overseas, and eventually he played a game in the NBA with the Portland Trail Blazers on a 10-day contract before going back to the G League. At the age of 27, he's averaging about 14 points a game. Now, sometime in 2022, Chance was swiping on a dating app and ran across a 19-year-old, Sakari Harnden. So the pair hit it off, they start dating, they develop a relationship, but it's short-lived. It only lasts for a couple months and they split up, but they remained in contact as friends. And they would occasionally hang out sometimes. Harnden ends up becoming an escort. I don't know if she was already an escort, I couldn't verify that, but anyway, she's an escort. But nonetheless, they still remain friends, and now, on occasion, she would team up with a 23-year-old Marina Rogers from Washington, when their clients had special requests. By all accounts, the two got along until a client's Rolex goes missing, where Rogers blames her friend and starts to make some threats. And this is where Chance and Harden start a dark plot to eliminate Rogers. The pair first decide to hire a hitman for $3,000, which sounds kind of ridiculous considering the consequences, but hey, I value my freedom. Anyways, so they're looking around asking about a hitman around Las Vegas, asking people that might actually do the hit. However, to no one's surprise, they couldn't find anyone to go along with the plan. There was some close connections where somebody was sort of agreeing, but ultimately it didn't happen. According to the records, the two were brainstorming ideas on how to kill her. So they would, talk about using a gun, using poison, some strangulation. They were just throwing all kinds of ideas out. So when they realized they couldn't find anyone, so that's when they were going to take matters into their own hands and do the hit. When the authorities searched their cell phones, they found a lot of information that was pretty troubling. They would find text message via Telegram that included emojis like a coffin, a ghost, a gun, things like that. Also, Chance was texting things like, I can just snap her neck or strangle her. Also things like, if you get a nice little piece of rope or something sturdy, that I can do it from the back seat like the killers do in the movies. So I feel like some of this was almost a game, or he was fantasizing about this. This is where they devise a plan to lure Rogers to Las Vegas to engage in a double-date escorting job, and she's promised to be paid $1,000. Now, her friend Harden tells Rogers that they have another guy that might join, but he ends up never joining. She also mentions that Chance likes tying up his partners, so subconsciously she knows that she's probably going to be tied up. Now, on December 5th, Chance is traveling with his basketball team, the Stockton Kings, an NBA G League team. He checks into the hotel at Henderson in Henderson, Nevada. It's a little outside of Las Vegas, pretty popular, more of upscale residence. He plays with the team and drops about 16 points in 22 minutes. Then he goes back to the hotel before leaving again to meet Harden and Rogers. The first thing they do is go purchase alcohol. Then they drive to a nearby cul-de-sac. This is where they commit the gruesome murder. So the three get to the location. Harden lets Rogers know that Chance will be paying them after it's done, and he wants both of them tied up. So Chance gives them both some zip ties where they end up tying each other up. Roger agrees to this, not knowing this would be the last time she would be alive, because as the two girls are laying in the back, Chance wraps a thick HDMI cord around her neck, while Harden takes her hands and she starts to strangle Rogers from the front of the neck. They both begin to place a lot of pressure on her neck and eventually strangle her to death. Now, Chance claims that after 10 seconds, he stopped because he heard Rogers struggle to breathe. Harden actually continued to add pressure. Now, at this point, Rogers is no longer responsive and fluid actually starts coming out of her mouth. So the couple then checks her pulse and there's no life. She's passed away. Next, they drive to a secluded area in the desert and just drop her body off. They use a towel to pick up rocks to cover her body with, because they don't want to leave any DNA evidence that could eventually link them to the murder. Lastly, they destroy Roger's cell phone because they don't want a digital footprint and they want to throw off the investigation. Once back to the team hotel, the two ended up staying the night until about 9 a.m. where Chance's team was leaving that morning to go home. Now the story gets a little bit more sinister, but before we get into it, I want to thank you for watching this long. If you don't mind, give me a like, subscribe, give me a dislike, I don't mind. So, back to the story. So the two stay in contact after the murder, and they come up with this idea that they should report that the friend is missing because they were the last ones that were supposed to meet up with her. So Harden goes to the police station, reports that her friend's missing, and this is where the investigation begins because there's a lot of red flags and she's not answering all the questions properly. So they're suspicious. A couple days go by and she agrees to meet with him again. They have more questions for her. Police believe that Chance at this point is coaching her how to beat the interrogation meeting. Once again, via text message, he tells the 19-year-old, calmly answer their question. They only know what you tell them. And they text again at 10 a.m. December 6th leading up to the meeting. He tells her, you got this, boo. It's like a post-game interview, just smile and wave. A day after that text, on December 7th, Chance plays another basketball game in Portland where he scores 8 points. 2 days later, he plays his last and probably final basketball game where he scored 24 points. And within a week, Chance is questioned by the FBI regarding the murder, and he comes clean about the gruesome event. He shows investigators on a map where her body is, and on December 13th, Harden is arrested, and the 15th, Chance is arrested. They're both charged with a felony, which was later updated to an open murder and conspiracy to commit murder charge. Chance was immediately cut from the team's roster after his arrest. His first court appearance was December 19th.
Report, face the judge. Page 18, Comanche, sir.
Chase Kyler Comanche, is that your true correct name?
Chance.
Chance, I'm sorry.
No problem.
I'm still not sure why Chance did this. It seemed like he had a lot going for him and a lot to lose. It couldn't have been over a simple Rolex. I mean, a logical person wouldn't think that, or I know I wouldn't. Seems like a lot to murder someone over this situation. I just don't understand. Like, I feel like in some ways he thought it was a game or something. Let me know what you think in the comments. Until next time, I appreciate you watching.